Albrecht, Practical Intelligence, The Art and Science of Common Sense. Welcome to the engaging summary of Practical Intelligence, The Art and Science of Common Sense by Albrecht. Breaking away from traditional IQ-driven perception, this book explores the importance of building practical intelligence, the capacity to handle everyday challenges with common-sense reasoning. As you delve into this summary, you'll discover valuable insights into nurturing creativity, affirmative thinking, and understanding mental preferences. By exploring practical ways to engage in convergent and divergent thinking, balance intuition with logical thought, and effectively manage emotional reactions, Albrecht's guide will help you develop your practical intelligence and overall effectiveness in life.
The Theory of Multiple Intelligences. In his book, Frames of Mind, Harvard psychologist Howard Gardner presented the concept of multiple intelligences. Instead of reducing human capability to a single metric like IQ, Gardner identified 7 intelligences and gestured at an 8th. These intelligences include abstract intelligence, social intelligence, emotional intelligence, aesthetic intelligence, kinesthetic intelligence, and practical intelligence. Practical intelligence is the ability to cope with the challenges and opportunities of life, and it's more in demand than ever in today's workforce. Fortunately, anyone can cultivate practical intelligence by following 4 simple precepts. Break free from mental arthritis. The gradual ossification of people's views is a phenomenon known as mental arthritis. It's essential to cultivate humility and embrace ambiguity to avoid this phenomenon. One major impediment to learning is the belief that you already know everything. To retain flexible mental software, avoid shoehorning every situation into the same old simple categories, embrace ambiguity, and cultivate humility. Don't get caught up on truth with a capital T. Instead, think of ideas as possible truths that can be flexible when newer, better ideas present themselves. Lastly, don't view arguments as win-lose. Let yourself be convinced by evidence and convince others gently. The power of affirmative thinking. Science has proven that positive attitudes lead to happy and effective lives. Instead of solely focusing on positive thinking, adopt affirmative thinking habits that support mental health. This means selecting what to focus on and ignoring media bias that often focuses on negative news. Don't be cynic or toxic, as these attitudes generate negative feelings. Instead, be grateful, generous, and don't think zero-sum. These practices can be cultivated through meditation exercises, affirmations, and mental rehearsals. Remember that changing your thoughts can change your world. Mindful language. Our choice of words carries great influence. They shape our thinking and impact how others perceive us. To become more mindful of our language, we must pay attention to the inferences we and others make while communicating. This involves not only considering the literal text but also recognizing our feelings, values, and opinions about the subject. Avoiding the 7 semantic sins helps foster humility, kindness, and open-mindedness in communication. Instead of making absolute statements, we should give room for other options. We must also be cautious of our self-talk and strive to make it more positive. Through conscious effort, we can use language to create a more empathetic and understanding world. Cultivating practical intelligence. Learn how to capture, cultivate, and communicate your ideas by nurturing your creativity and avoiding false dichotomies. Do you struggle with turning your ideas into fully developed concepts? Do creative blocks, negative criticism, and self-doubt hinder you from achieving your goals? Cultivating practical intelligence is the perfect guide for people like you. Written by Robert J. Sternberg, this book presents fundamental strategies to unleash your imagination and convert good ideas into tangible results. If you ever felt frustrated by forgetting a good idea, this book has the solution. Sternberg highlights the importance of capturing your thoughts by writing them down, encouraging readers to keep a notebook close and jot down any concept that comes to mind. In addition, he provides practical advice on how to overcome idea killers and other common obstacles that impede your creativity from blossoming. To incubate ideas, naming a problem and its specifics, and then letting it percolate in your unconscious mind can reward you with epiphanies. Sternberg shares stories of how inventors, artists, and scientists all discovered their most successful ideas from situations where they weren't consciously thinking about solutions, such as in the shower or while on vacation. To boost your creative thinking, stay open to new ideas and consider their positive and intriguing aspects before criticizing them. Sternberg provides the 3-step PIN process to discussing new ideas with others. He also warns against dichotomous thinking, the idea that you must choose between two opposite things to approach an issue. By creating a false dilemma, dichotomous thinking narrows your possibilities, limits your potential, and makes it harder to find a solution. In summary, Cultivating Practical Intelligence empowers readers to develop better thinking habits and reach true potential. This book is perfect for anyone seeking to improve their creative problem-solving skills. Mastering Convergent and Divergent Thinking. Convergent thinking is the art of reducing a big problem into simpler constituents to find a solution. On the other hand, divergent thinking unpacks an issue into related ideas using brainstorming or mind mapping. The ability to manage the transition from one thinking to the other is crucial in group problem-solving situations. Individuals have a preference for one tactic over the other, but everyone can master both. Organizations must identify when to shift from one approach to the other to avoid common organizational pathologies. Mastering convergent and divergent thinking skills is vital to building problem-solving capabilities. The Ladder of Abstraction. Almost all problems can be examined at varying degrees of abstraction, following the ladder of abstraction metaphor. Abstract concepts occupy the top, while concrete objects sit at the bottom. For example, a tomato on a plate can be engaged with at different levels of abstraction, from it being just a single tomato at the lowest level to a combination of matter at the highest. The solution to a problem often presents itself purely at a given level. By becoming adept at moving up and down the ladder of abstraction, it becomes easier to solve challenges. Beyond either-or thinking. The idea that logical and intuitive thinking are mutually exclusive is a myth. Most people have a preferred style, which leads to personality conflicts. To solve problems effectively, it's important to develop both styles. Structured puzzles and games can improve your logical abilities, while nonverbal tasks like sports or music can help you become more comfortable with intuition. Rationality and emotionality interaction. Many people believe that rationality and emotionality cannot coexist. However, cognitive psychology and neuroscience demonstrate that these two traits are interconnected and produce distinct personality types. Although rational thinking can be beneficial, managing one's emotions is crucial for practical intelligence. To achieve this, individuals need to identify their emotional triggers and learn how to control their reactions by taking a moment to pause. By doing so, they will gradually become less affected by their emotional triggers.
The key takeaways from this enlightening summary of practical intelligence lie in Albrecht's practical tips for cultivating your ability to handle everyday situations effectively. Remember to embrace openness and flexibility, adopt affirmative thinking, harness the power of language, cultivate creativity and idea nurturing, and master the balance between abstract and concrete thinking. Additionally, develop both intuition and logical problem-solving skills, and learn to manage your emotions intelligently. By consistently integrating these principles into your life, you'll enhance your practical intelligence and navigate through life's challenges with increased confidence, adaptability, and wisdom.